Hi old people, welcome back to another video to show a new possible design for a Ranger in Anthem. I already made one that was focused on shield and maximum speed to use the Ultima, so there was already designed for that direction. This time I decided to make a new configuration that instead is not focused on the Ultima but is focused on single target. So I call this build Iron Man from the classic colors, ST as a single target. I will describe starting from the assault launcher and ending at the support gear why I chose certain components and certain skills, but keep in mind that this is focused on damage, weapon damage, gear damage, everything that can generate damage, and is trying to help on shields. Will not have that much of shield, will have only 21,000 points of shield from the 33,000 that was the other build, and but it should be working on a single target, focusing on single target, and will not be using the Ultima that much because it's very difficult to focus the Ultima on a single target. Alright, so let's start. Assault Launcher. Assault Launcher, I'm using the Tactical Onslaught, which in this specific configuration is receiving on the item itself plus 85% damage. Extremely important. Also offers an extra 55% damage on weapons for the Javelin. Then we're looking at the weapons. In this case I'm using the Avenging Herald because I will be hovering on this configuration, so also on the component I will try to work as much as I can to improve the thrusts and thrusters life and stuff like that. So I will be hovering and I will be using the 200% damage perk that this gun offers, and then there's also weapon plus 20% as a specific perk. I'm using the Devastator. I didn't find the masterwork yet, okay, but I'm using a normal Devastator, which is pointing out on the blast damage, of course, is offering, very important, shield plus 35% of the maximum base, which is extremely important. Will try to help on my shields. The other aspect I will keep in mind in this configuration is that I will pump as much as I can that little diamond you see there close to the damage and blast damage. That means is impact or blast damage, so I will try to pump the kind of stats, and we will see later how. Then as a grenade I'm using this time the Gambit. The Gambit because I'm not pointing out on achieve my Ultima, so the Gambit I'm pointing out to achieve as maximum damage as I can is 4,500 points of damage from blast damage. It is getting a gear specific item 10% speed, which is good, and a gear 75% damage, which is awesome. So I'm definitely pointing out on obtain the maximum damage from this single target grenade. Then components. I will keep the ultimate inscription only because it's offering me a 75% maximum shield, so that is insanely great as a statistic, and this is a component that will stay with me for a long time. Then I'm using the tactical advantage, which is increasing the engine heat threshold by 35%, besides the fact that also shooting the weak points will help as well, but it's specially designed to keep me flying and hovering as long as possible. Defensive bulwark, of course, the 25% on the weapons damage, and also when you go low health another 25% for a total of 50%. This one specifically give me also an ultimate 13% speed, but I really don't care about that because I'm not pointing in that direction. Airborne advantage. Now increase the impact damage by 50% and decrease the blast damage, and I want to talk about this because I'm using also the Victor Resolve, which is the opposite. Increase the blast damage by 50% and decrease the impact damage by 20%. So blast damage is basically my grenade. But all of the other weapons are producing impact damage. So if I use these two things together, I'm mitigating the loss, and basically I'm acquiring a total of 30% perk on both of them. Because if I increase the 50% and then I reduce it by 20%, I still have a 30% bonus, and vice versa. So I have 30% bonus on impact and 30% bonus on blast using both together. Now the tip of, let's see if they have anything special. The ammo drop, I don't care. This one is good. 23% on thruster life, which helps to stay flying. And then finally the tip of the spear, which increased the combo damage by 50%, may restore 40% armor to nearby allies. Works, doesn't work, you have to be very very close, doesn't really matter. But the combo damage by 50%, considering the impact damage and blast damage that I'm creating, is extremely important. Now this is extremely good, it's pointing on damage. Then I have the support gear. I'm still using the master point. Not that much, because when you use, in this game you are too much mobile. So you create your ball. Yes, if you are in a good position, you can stay within the ball and use that 20% extra damage is absolutely good. So it could be useful for this specific configuration, but you always have to move, so there is a big chance you cannot stay in the ball. The real importance of this master point is the plus 40% shield that is going to give me. Then if I can use the extra 20%, good to go. I mean, it's definitely good. So this is a configuration that is pointing out on damage. Figure out with all those damage, the Avenging Herald will reach out a lot more damage as an impact damage of 1000 plus, so tons of extra perks on that. The Devastator, impact of 1800, but you have to consider then an extra 30% plus other perks. And then the blast damage, you have to consider a 30% on that plus other possible perks that I can count in. So this will be extremely strong. Even the Tactical Onslaught, which gives 522 on a single dart, this goes almost 1000 per single dart, only with his own specifics here. And so this becomes almost a 3000, about 2900 damage when you shoot the 3 darts to a single target. It is very nice. So this configuration is definitely pointing out for damage, is definitely pointing out for single target damage, especially with the Devastator. When I will find a masterwork for that weapon will be even better. It is using 5 masterworks out of 6, which means 21,000 points of shield and about 10,000, 11,000 points of armor, basically. Is not too shabby, yet is a different kind of usage you want to do for this configuration. So I hope you may enjoy this kind of description. If you're looking for a configuration that does not count too much on the Ultima, but should be producing the constant amount of damage on single target with your Ranger, this could be a decent direction, I guess, at the moment. I tested in Masterwork 2. It is survivable, you have to pay attention, but you can use it. Masterwork 1, of course, is an easy-going run. Thank you very much again for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.